Hey, Fanboy Nation.
This is your pal Daffy Duck, and you're watching.
You're watching.
We're watching. You're watching Fanboy.
Fanboy. Fanboy.
Fanboy.
Fanboy.
A fanboy, etc.
Fanboy Nation.
Dot, I assume Tom.
This woman is the voice of the robot on the new Apple TV series Sunny, Joanna Sotomura. I hope I got that correct this time. How are you doing today?
Hi, I'm doing so well. I'm a new mom, so I'm constantly tired and in a state of just like, what's happening? But yeah, but happy to be here.
You're a new mom. You are a voice actress and on-camera actress. It seems like you might be shifting more over to voiceover at this point with a toddler or an infant.
I'm gonna do it all. I'm gonna be the woman that has it all, on camera and voice and motherhood.
And a house husband.
And a house husband, yes. Yeah. And a homebot, maybe one day.
Maybe a homebot, you know, that you get to be the actual voice of.
Yeah, actually, and it wasn't even just the voice too. It was the head, and all of the facial expressions were actually my facial expressions.
Well, that's fantastic. So you got to put on the what's it called? The little dots and everything. Why is it slipping my mind today? No, so you got to put
like
on, like,
mocap.
the little dots. Yeah, thank you, mocap. So you got to do all the mocap stuff.
I've done mocap before. I was in a Call of Duty for years ago, but this actually wasn't mocap. This was a practical 3-foot-tall robot that we had on set. And I would do the rehearsals as myself, as Joanna, with like an eye line for Sunny on my stomach, like a piece of tape. And then I would go off and get rigged up in this helmet. It's, to my knowledge, a tech that's never really been done before. And it had a camera and a ring light and a monitor. So I could see what the robot Sunny was seeing. And so it would track my facial expressions, no dots or anything, but it would just track like my eyebrows and my eyes and my mouth. So if I was surprised, Sunny was surprised. If I moved my head this way, Sunny moved her head this way too. So all of those choices were mine on the day, which was really, really unique.
So it's you, but with a 3-foot-tall robot instead.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. You know what? Leave it to Japan to come up with some of the coolest stuff that we'll never see in the United States.
No kidding. It had Japan just in itself is such an incredible country. And some of the stuff that I encountered over there was just fantastic. It was such a beautiful, beautiful country.
Well, you are of Japanese ancestry. Did you learn any Japanese over there, or did you speak it at home? And, you know, how did that come about for you?
Yeah, I took Japanese in high school, but I'm a very distracted student. So I knew some basics, and then I got the role of Sunny, and I had this incredible tutor, Yumi Mizui, who taught me my Japanese dialogue, and we just ran it almost like a song. So I learned it melodically, as well as kind of learning, you know, basic sentence structure. And then went to Japan, and then just tried to pick it up in the 6 months that we were there.
And you forgot everything since you've been back.
Yes, I have. Yes, but I can tell you all the songs of my kid's PlayStation, or her little like play toy area, like Purple Monkey and a Bubblegum Tree and Blue Elephant. Yeah, the hits.
You're giving a whole new definition of immersion experience for your child.
Thanks.
So you're on set while this is going on?
Oh yeah, I'm on set. Every scene that Sunny's in, Joanna is in. And it's been actually really funny watching the episodes back too, because I can't help but remember where I was on the day. So like there's some times where I'm like, oh yeah, they built me into a wall so that I could be close to Sunny to get the reception for the monitor, or like I'm under the floor in this scene, or, you know, I'm in a closet. So I was on set every single day for the 6 months or every single day that Sunny was on set for the 6 months that we filmed.
Wow, this is such an update of Roger Rabbit, because Charles Fleischer was on set doing all the Roger Rabbit voiceover behind the camera so the actors could react to Roger.
No way. That's, you know, there really is something that a lot of people have said, and I've experienced too, with like actually having an actor on set on the day to act opposite of, even if it ends up being a 3-foot-tall little robot girl. But yeah.
Right, but I mean, it's your voice, it's your personality, it's your facial expressions. So it makes it easier for Rashida to react to it when it's live, instead of her doing her scene and 3 different takes, and now your voiceover has to try to match that.
Exactly. And I think that's one of the things that our showrunner, Katie Robbins, was very adamant about. She wanted a practical robot on the day for that exact reason, just to have something real and tangible that everyone can act opposite. And I think because it's practical in a day of such high CGI, it gives it kind of our show like a really unique eerie, funky little edge to it that I really admire.
All right, so we can't talk about this in detail, but we can mention it because it is coming up.
Okay.
Game show scene.
Mm-hmm.
All right. How exciting is that to watch back after having been on set, seeing the production of it and how it all came together?
It is so exciting. I think it's fair to say it was one of my favorite episodes to shoot. And I'm very bad at giving away spoilers, so I'll be slow. But it's very unique. It's a glimpse into some Japanese culture that I'm excited for audiences to see. And in terms of Sunny, of my character, it's a new sort of energy and wavelength that was so much fun to explore and to play on the day. Like, as an actor, it was just everything you could want. It was amazing.
Japanese game shows are unique because we'll go from Ninja Warrior, which we've translated to a US version.
Yeah.
And then we see clips of this one show where it's like a trivia show and we strap a stake to your head. And then if you get the answer wrong, we release the kimono dragon. And I'm like, where did you even come up with this?
Yeah, or like there's like Silent Library where they like spin a wheel and the first one to laugh gets like slapped. It's bizarre and somehow just works with as like absurd as it is.
And how does your dad react to this? He's like, hey, I'm Japanese from Hawaii. Our family originated in Japan. Here's my daughter going back, let's say 80 years and like visiting her grandparents, hometown or region.
Yeah, well, so I'm fourth generation Japanese here, and my dad is so proud. He was so excited for me to, because I've never been to Japan before, but it was a bucket list thing and neither has my father too. So it was just such a bucket list thing for me to be able to go. And we were working really hard for 6 months, so I didn't get as much time as I wanted to like explore. But I kept reminding myself too, I'm like, okay, you're not on vacation, you're here to like work. I mean, it was so cool to be able to see like the food I grew up with and my grandma and grandpa everywhere and like, yeah, like the little bachans running around. So it was really to be able to do a show where I get to be a lead character like this on top of go back to my home country was just such an incredible fusion. It was such a once in a lifetime memory.
And no hair and makeup, no uncomfortable shoes, Were you, if it's all right for me to ask, were you pregnant at the time?
I wasn't. No, I ended up getting pregnant right as I found out almost like the day that the writer's strike happened. And then when the strikes were all resolved, I had my baby. So the timing worked out in a very odd way, but I got to explore Japan, just me and my husband and the 3-foot tall robot girl.
Because it would have just been hilarious if you're sitting there in these like ugly maternity dresses and you're just like 7 months there. I'm like, all right, I'm just going to sit in the chair and do my voiceover. You guys go worry about Rashida's bad wig and ugly haircut.
Yeah, well, I actually found very cute maternity dresses, so I don't know what a bad maternity dress looks like. But I did have the pleasure of not having to show up early for hair and makeup. I could wear, because we also shot in the dead of Kyoto heat. And so a lot of our actors were wearing layers and I could wear just like, cotton tank tops and linen shorts. But the downside to that is now that I see the behind the scenes photos and everyone looks amazing with their cool costumes, hair and makeup, and I'm like sweating with the helmet being like, eh. So that's the only downside, but on the day it was fantastic.
But you know what? It makes for great stories. And now you have something to show your child.
Yeah, I do. And I'm really proud of it when she's good and 25 and ready to watch the show.
Well, I don't think we'll plop her down with this one with, Fraggle Rock or Frog and Toad on Apple TV Plus as well, some of the sister shows.
Yeah. We'll wait a little bit for this one.
Yeah. Your husband got to go with you to Japan for this. Did he work on the show as well? Is he in the industry?
He's in the industry. He didn't get to work on the show, but he did get to visit on set. And he's a huge Weta Workshops fan. So when he found out that we were working with Weta, he was like, oh my gosh, like he couldn't wait to see the HomeBot and the design and learn how all the tech and everything worked too. So it was a real treat to be able to bring him on set.
Yeah. What I like about Apple TV shows, are like Ted Lasso was fantastic.
Oh yeah.
your show, Sunny, obviously is great, or else we wouldn't be talking to you about it.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. No, I'm one of those people that I'm like, wow, that show sucks. I'm not going to do the press day.
Yeah, that would be a really awful press day if you're like, well, your show blows. What was it like filming?
Right. And I can't be like some of my colleagues. Oh my God, this is the greatest thing in the world. And as soon as the camera turns off, dude, that was like garbage. I was like, no, I can't do that. Like, if I think it's garbage, I'm just not doing the press day. And, why waste everybody's time?
Sure.
Shrinking is fantastic. Acapulco's great. So there's so many great things coming out of Apple TV. What's it like when you see on the script Apple TV Plus? Is it almost like I have to because of so many other great shows that they put out?
You know what's so funny? I mean, yes, Apple TV is by far producing some of my favorite content. But back in 2022, when I auditioned for this, it was my first year. I was like, I'm going to try to make a vision board. Let's just like see how this plays out. And I had this one clipping of Apple A24, specifically just like one clip of them together. I forget what show they had done at the time, but I could find that clipping. And I put it on there and I was like, I don't know how often they work together, but what a dream. And then I got this, and then I kept making it through the audition process until when I finally booked it and was like, my mind was so blown because I admire Apple so much and A24 so much. And this funky show with the marriage of the two was really, I mean, it's still hard to believe. Yeah.
Absolutely. A24 has become the new king of the indies. Like 30 years ago when Miramax was on top of the world for indie films, now it's A24.
Oh, easily. Yeah, hands down.
Yeah, I'll see. Like, as soon as I see that A24 logo pop up in one of my emails, I was like, just send me the movie. Like, I don't even need to read the synopsis.
Yeah, they do a really good job too of having so many diverse projects, but still having this through line of kind of like eerie, colorful, funky human vibes. I don't know. Yeah, they know what they're doing.
With Sunny and being off camera but on set, like, how fun is that instead of just being in the recording booth somewhere in Burbank and going, all right, here's 8 episodes I recorded in 4 hours. I'll come back for the pickups next week and whatever else, and then go home and then realize, wow, they did all this cool stuff without me, to now being on set and being, a part of it without being on camera. Yeah,
it was such a trip too, because like you said, like voiceover it's really nice. And my hat goes off to voiceover artists too. It's a lot of work, but to do that while being on set, while learning in real time, this new technology of like how to move her head, how to reset it, what happens if like the neck goes out in the middle of a take, how to time out my blinks because her eyes are so big. And as a human, you blink, I think, an average of I like multiple times in a sentence. And for Sunny, it was like Morse code when I was doing it. So I had to learn how to not blink for full takes. So those challenges were pretty hard, but I don't know. I wouldn't really have it any other way because of what it resulted in, which is like this really cool, funky looking homebot. And yeah, to be on set on the day was really special.
Yeah. The show starts off a little slow and has this build to a crescendo. And I appreciate that because Apple TV releases everything weekly instead of just all at once.
Yes.
Is there time like traditional television where it's like, oh, people didn't like week 1, we could do a couple of revamps and reshoots for week 2 to fix the story? Or is it just like, look, we did it all at once and we're releasing it weekly. Here's how it's going to unfold.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really speak to other Apple TV shows, but I know for ours, Katie Robbins had such a specific vision and story from the jump. Like there was no ad-libbing on set. Everything is very much as written. And it was kind of like we believed in the story so much. It's like they get what they get. We're super proud of this. We can't wait for them to see certain episodes as it progresses. And yeah, they're just very unapologetic with their vision of Sunny, which I so appreciate.
Joanna, you do have a newborn.
I do.
Your child cannot watch anything that you've been in thus far. Barry, The Good Place, Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. Are you going to do something that like she could actually see and go, that's mommy? Or is she going to have to wait till she's 25, like you said, to watch anything you've ever done?
I'd love to do something cute. Like I know Bluey's a huge, we're not doing screen time until we can hold out to the last minute, which who knows, it could be tomorrow. But I mean, a little part in Bluey would be really sweet. My nieces and nephews love that show. Or my buddy was just he's the new Ultraman in Ultraman Rising. So to do something like that would be really cool too. But sure, why not? I'm down to play.
Yeah, because it's just funny, like people that have all these infants and toddlers, and then like you see their body of work, and you're like, your kids can't see anything. Like
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy's kids couldn't see anything of his work till like they were at least 17.
Yeah, or Shrek, I guess.
True. I think that's the only one at the time that they could see, but definitely wasn't Vampire in Brooklyn in 48 hours.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
You know, everything that's coming your way, people are starting to recognize you for your work from all these other shows. But you still have anonymity with Sunny. Like, are people starting to pay attention? Like, you'll be ordering something in the restaurant and the server will be like, wait a minute, I know you from.
Not yet, but the few times I have been like just had the cool honor of being like recognized were through works I did with YouTube with creators Wong Fu Productions, and then I did a series way back in the day called Emma Approved that actually got a Creative Arts Emmy, which was really cool. So those two things actually get me recognized more than like Barry or A Good Place, and probably definitely more than Sunny.
But I will tell you something about The Good Place.
Oh,
At
please.
the end of season 1, I was so mad that I didn't figure out they were in hell.
Really?
I was so mad at myself because like I wasn't going to watch the show initially. I was like, yeah, it's an interesting concept, whatever. And then I was on a flight and I watched the first 4 episodes and I was like, fine, I'm
Got
hooked.
you.
Right?
Yeah.
They got me. And then so I'm so enthralled with everything that's going wrong for them that it didn't even dawn on me that they were in hell. And like usually I'll figure it out from the commercial or the trailer.
Yeah.
But the story was so good, and then at the end it was like, oh, why didn't I figure this out? Like I was so mad at myself that I didn't figure it out.
That's just a classic show. That's so great. And to be able to do a twist like that on network television is it's really, really, really special.
Yeah. You as a performer, there's always that transition to wanting to write, wanting to direct, wanting to produce. What is a dream job for Joanna? Obviously, Sunny is fantastic, and your career is on an upward trajectory. But like, what's something that's like close to your heart that you would like to put out there?
I so admire people that have like other ambitions too, like writing and directing. I am just kind of a one-trick pony. I absolutely adore acting, and I feel like now I'm just starting to be able to really get parts that I can show what I can do. So it would be to just continue doing this and then one day be on camera in a bigger part. But you know what show that I've watched that I'd be like, I want to be a part of that, is Girls Five Ever. It was a Peacock original, and now it's on Netflix. Tina Fey, like that sort of absurd comedy is right up my alley. So something like that.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
I think you'd pull it off rather easily.
Oh, thank you. And if there's something that has like the tone of Arrested Development too, that would be like, oh, chef's kiss.
Yeah. And no, like creating your own liquor brand, like George Clooney had his tequila company that he sold, like nothing like that for you?
Sure, why not? I'll do, Jaeger bombs maybe, or the.
You're a new mom. Create a new baby formula and just stick your face on it.
Oh, there you go. Boom. Oh, yeah. Easy.
There's always products for children that need to be rebranded and remarketed.
Oh my gosh, there's so many things. You're like, why hasn't someone invented this yet? Like a toy that's just a bunch of iPhone cables. She seems to love. Yeah.
Right. Just buy the box. Like it's a colorful box with nothing in there.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Boom.
And that would be a huge Christmas seller because kids end up playing with the box more than the toy sometimes.
Even at this age, she's 6 months, and yes, I can vouch for that. It's just boxes and cables all day and tiny little tags.
Do you practice Sunny's voice on your daughter? And did you also like work it into phone conversations with your husband?
But no, I haven't tried it yet. Actually, it wasn't until the press junket that I was like, I don't think I've like hit this octave in a while. I should probably warm up. But we used to say like Suzie, like say Suzie to each other a lot for about 2 years. Yeah.
Because I've talked to other voice actors and I was just like, unfortunately we can't do crank calls anymore because of, caller ID has been such a thing that people don't even remember what it was like beforehand, that people would just call up and do fake voices and whatever else.
Yeah.
You practice on your kids, you practice on the pets, like that sort of thing, just creating new voices.
Yeah, absolutely. I also just talk to myself on a regular, like cooking stuff and be like, oh, mommy, or if I mess up, or something like talking as my daughter, or talking as my dogs, or talking as myself. But I'm constantly talking. In fact, I'd say I talk too much. I get in trouble for that on set all the time.
You know, like how do you get in trouble on set for talking too much?
Oh, easy. Excuse me. My allergies are fantastic. In between takes, like I'm just so excited. I'm a very excitable person, and I'm so excited to be on set and seeing the whole process get done. So especially on a set like Sunny, I was just bouncing around, asking everyone how they're doing, what their jobs were. How did you what a cool wardrobe. Why are we doing this like blue jacket? Or just like, how's your weekend? And then everyone's very politely being like, oh, it was great. It was really great. You know, it's just like, I'm like, oh yeah, cool. So I ended up, checking out Mount Fuji, and yeah, so
They're like
constantly,
and everyone's like, the mic is hot, the red light's on.
ah,
Yeah.
every time. Yeah.
So you're the scene killer.
Yeah. I'm scene murderer, I think they call me. Scene slayer, and not in the good way.
Yeah. Was there a moment? I mean, yes, you're off camera and the robot is capturing your facial expressions, but something, whether what Rashida did or some other character, like you couldn't keep that poker face and now it cracks up on the robot, that like they caught it on camera and they're like, all right, we're gonna have to either fix this in post or do a retake.
I'm sure. I'm sure. I'm so easily excitable, and like I know there must have been things on the day that like got me, which is funny because again, Sunny's so expressive that if it's like and also when that would happen, my voice would drop down to my normal octave. So it'd be like, doing something like, oh God, sorry guys, fucked up. But so I'd be so curious to see if they have like a little outtake reel at the end of all this.
You know how hard it is not to give spoilers? Like at some point, Sunny rolls up to the building and something happens, or there's a very strange situation over here, and like how fun it is that like Rashida Jones wants to hate Sunny,
Yeah.
but really at some point can't.
Yeah, it's like one of my favorite dynamics in the show, just because Sunny doesn't, she's not doing anything technically wrong. Like she is doing her purpose, which is to serve and to love and to just provide warmth for Suzie, who is so dark and so understandably broken after losing her husband and her son. And just like their energies and where they meet is just really, really fun, especially because Sunny won't stop being Sunny. And it's just, yeah, it was a lot of fun to play.
Right. Which is hard to sell this as a comedy. It's like this woman's husband and son dies and she has to figure out how it happens, but she's got a fun-loving robot. And you're like, this sounds very 1960s at this point.
Totally. But you know what's funny about you saying that too is like that's kind of the vibe of our show as well, is that 60s, 70s sort of era. Yeah.
All right. So here's the big question.
Oh God.
What would you do if you had your own Sunny?
I'd sleep. Oh, I'd sleep. I'd have her help with the baby, do the dishes, maybe tell me a joke here or there. I would have an absolute blast, and I would sleep.
So sleep is it. There's not like she can do the laundry, she can take grandma's old recipes and try to spice them up a little bit. It's just take a nap.
Oh yeah. Oh, sweet, sweet nap. Oh my God, 100%. Yeah, that's all I ask. I'm a simple lady. I don't need much from my home bot. Just a nap or two.
Yeah. A nap and rocking the baby to sleep.
Yes. Oh yeah.
All right, I dig it. Well, Sunny is airing Wednesdays on Apple TV Plus. First episode, was it first episode or first two episodes? I got to double check. First two was on Wednesday the 10th, so you can catch up on that in time for the 17th when the excitement really begins. We had to create the character development and build it up from the get-go, but this is a fun show. Are we getting a season 2?
Oh man, that would be the dream. Right now, I've just been we worked so hard in season 1. I'm just so excited for everyone to see that and check it out. And hopefully, yeah, that would be the dream, is to get a season 2.
Because this is what I love about Apple TV, and also get frustrated with them, is that they'll give you a great season 1, and you're like, well, if people don't like it, we can end the story here, but we can still continue it on. And like, we want to see more of Sunny, and we want to see more of Suzie going along into season 2.
I hope so too. Me too.
kind of like becoming a Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego thing, and you guys become like crime detectives together.
Sure, why not? I'll take the story anywhere. That sounds great.
Joanna, thank you so much for your time today. Sunny is on Apple TV Plus, airing Wednesdays. First 2 episodes are already out. Episode 3 comes out on July 17th. Where can we find you on social media if we want to connect with you? And will you guys be at San Diego Comic-Con?
Oh, I wish as of now, I don't believe we'll be at San Diego Comic-Con. But everyone have fun. It's the best. And you can catch me on Instagram and TikTok at Joanna Sotomura.
Joanna, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it today.
Oh man, thank you so much for having me. It was a blast.